Okay? Okay, this is Dale Carson, attorney, Jacksonville, Florida, author of the book Arrest Proof Yourself. Today we're going to talk about firearms. And I want you to know that this entire book, which is Florida Firearms Law, Use, and Ownership, is 346 pages long. So it's not a subject that I can give you every answer, but I'm going to try to give you some important tips. The first is that in the state of Florida, there is no open carry rule. Okay, you may not open carry a firearm. That means long gun or handgun. You can't do that. Now, there are exceptions for certain sprays, self-defense sprays that can open carry, but talking about handguns or long guns, there's no provision for open carry. What does that mean? Well, most of us drive cars, and that means that you can't just take your handgun and toss it in the seat next to you while you're driving. You can't leave your long gun exposed in the back seat. All of those items have to be put in a position where they cannot be readily accessed. Okay? What does that mean? Well, the glove box is a clear exception. You may keep your firearm in the glove box, loaded, round in the chamber, safety on, or the cylinder completely loaded, ready to go in the glove box. That's the first place. Also, you can keep it in the armrest. And in my mind, that's pretty accessible. But based on the law, you're allowed to carry it there. In my particular car, beneath the front seat on both the driver and passenger side, there's a small glove box, if you will. And I keep my firearm there. So there are places in a car, as long as you don't have instant access to it. It's not laying on the seat ready to go next to you. Now, you can, and I recognize that that's carrying concealed, right? But you can do that with or without a concealed weapons license. Okay, you don't have to have a concealed weapons license to do that. There is a specific exception. But I encourage you, if you're going to carry, you need to make certain that you understand the law, and it's very complex. It's not simple. So let's talk about another aspect of this. You can keep it in a zipped carrying case for a long gun or a handgun, and there is some case law which supports the proposition that you can keep it in a holster. It's loaded now in a holster, clipped, so it's not readily accessible. In other words, there is a step in between. But candidly, carrying a gun in a vehicle presents another obvious problem. And by the way, if you're an employer, you have to, under state law, allow employees to bring the weapon into the parking lot. What that means is there are a lot of places where if your car is broken into in a parking lot or any place, one of the first places a bad guy's going to look is in your glove box. They're now going to be armed. So that's a problem. So I encourage you, candidly, and I have one in my car, is a floor safe. It's just a box. You can instantly open it with either a key or digitally pressing certain buttons to allow it to open, and it has a cable affixed to it that you can lock it, so when it's under the seat, it'll take them a moment to get that loose and get access to it. Otherwise, you want to carry in the trunk. But if you're carrying in the trunk, when I was an agent, we always secondary locked the trunk with a padlock and a chain to prevent people from busting open the trunk, which is fairly easy to do, and having access to the firearm. So again, if you're carrying a weapon in a car, a handgun or a long gun, you are subject to certain restrictions, and there is no open carry in Florida. That's the general rule. Stay tuned for a moment, and I will tell you the exception to that open carry rule. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to helping you sort through these problems. If you have questions, don't hesitate to call me.